Alright, here's our PowerPoint podcast on America enters World War I. Sweet, it's vacation time. Alright, how about that? Let's pretend you get to sail from New York City to England on one of the world's largest, most luxurious cruise ships. Wow. Hola, Diego. It's a fine looking ship, if you ask me. This is my great-great-grandfather right here. Nah, just kidding. Oh, we're ready to go. We're waiting. We're so excited. Oh, no. You see this in the newspaper. Because we all read in the newspaper because we like to stay educated, right? Travelers intending to embark on the Atlantic voyage are reminded that a state of war exists between Germany and her allies, and Great Britain and her allies. Oh, look. Misspelled word. Oh, well. And the zone of war includes the waters adjacent to the British Isles, blah, 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 and with formal notice given by the Imperial German government, vessels flying the flag of Great Britain or any of her allies are liable to destruction in those waters, and that travelers sailing in the war zone on ships of Great Britain or her allies do so at their own risk. Oh my. What do you think? Are you still going to go on your trip? Well, regardless of what you say, this whole scenario right here has a lot to do with why the United States got into World War I, which is, of course, the purpose of this PowerPoint. So, your fate, based on your decision, could be pretty bad outcome if you had said yes. But we'll save that for a couple minutes from now. All right. So far, the U.S. position had been neutrality. We were trying to stay out of the war. The World War I, as you remember, started in the year, I hope you said 1914. You remember we called it Europe's War. We said, not our problem, not our fault. You guys are crazy over there, start wars all the time, every couple years. So we're staying out of it. And Wilson, President Wilson, the college professor before he was president, he said, listen, America, please try to stay out of this. We're neutral. We're going to just do business with these countries, either country. Germany, we actually did a lot of trading with Germany still. But he knew that overall, most people leaned towards the Allies. I mean, there were a lot of Germans that favored Germany, but majority. They invested in allied countries here and didn't want them to lose the war. So, like I keep saying throughout the year, it seems like everything comes down to money. And if we want to have a say in the peace settlement, President Wilson realizes that we're going to have to be on the winning side of the war when it's all said and done. However many years down the road it'll be, we're going to have to be with Britain and France, our allies, that we clearly did more business with them. We felt more in common with them, with their language and customs and everything. So keep that in mind. So 1916, President Wilson's up for re-election. 4 years have gone by. And I repeat, we are still not in World War I yet. Oh, whoa, there are donkeys flying across the screen. That's interesting. That would be because that's the mascot of the Democratic Party, which of course he was a member. So he tries to get re-elected, and he actually does. He wins the re-election with his slogan, "He kept us out of war." Little buttons printed up with his picture and with the slogan on it. Interestingly enough, that's not going to last very long, of course, is it? But hey, as we know, presidents do whatever it takes to stay in office. So why do we enter the war then? Well, you have to understand that Germany declares what's called unrestricted submarine warfare. I'm going to say that a lot in this class, unrestricted submarine warfare in World War I. So I'm going to say in Germany's defense, the reason they started doing that was because America had been shipping plenty of goods to them to trade with, which is fine. We were neutral, but Britain had been getting involved, and Britain had been blockading Germany, so they were stopping American goods from getting to Germany. And so Germany's like, well, that's not cool. You can't do that. We're gonna start sinking your ships with our submarines. We'll attack any ship around Great Britain without any warning, they declared. So of course, we feel like, oh, we're supposed to think that, oh, evil Germany, why would they do that? But I mean, I think they were kind of instigated by Britain in their defense. I won't be defending Germany too much in World War I or II after this. So there are two events that lead us to, oh, thank you, Count. Let's see what they are. The first one, the Lusitamia. What about it? Well, Lusitania was a British passenger ship. British, okay? British. From New York to Great Britain is where it was traveling in this case, carrying about 1,100, 1,200 people. 128 of them happened to be from the United States, and it sunk. It was sunk by a German U-boat, or Untersee boat, as I like to say. That's what U-boat stands for. Untersee, meaning undersea. May of 1915. Okay, so this is pretty early. We still don't join the war yet, but we're angry. We're ticked off, and turns out, okay, Germany claims that the reason we sunk it was because, yes, it had Americans on board and British people on board, but it was also secretly hiding ammunition, other kind of war cargo that was going to help the Allies against Germany. So, I mean, we never proved it. Germany never proved it because the boat sunk, but it's definitely plausible that that's true. So, nonetheless, it's not cool to kill innocent civilians. So all of this propaganda, the new word propaganda, it's going to be a big important word in this class throughout the year. And propaganda this is British propaganda, telling the British and the Americans, I guess the Irish in particular, to join to help fight. Look at all these poor innocent people struggling to swim in the water while their ship's on fire. Looks like it's flying out of the water for some reason. Here's some more propaganda. Oh, what's that? Wow, the ship's on fire. People are suffering. Oh, look. In this propaganda poster, the Germans are firing machine guns on innocent civilians in the boats. Now, I really doubt that happened. It seems pretty ridiculous. Their goal was not to kill civilians. Their goal was to sink the ship because it carried, cargo, supposedly, like ammunition for the enemy. So this propaganda is trying to get people fired up. The British are trying to get Americans fired up to fight back. So Wilson says, hey, Germany, knock it off. It's not cool. You can't kill non-combatants. You can't kill civilians. So a couple months later, they'd first backed off, but a German U-boat torpedoed the French passenger ship called the Sussex, injuring some Americans. I guess no one was killed. So Germany's up to it again. Wilson says, hey, Germany, knock it off. Seriously. We're getting mad here. We're not in the war. Do you want us to be in the war? If you don't knock the unrestricted submarine warfare off, we will join, and you're not going to like it. So Germany says, whoa, whoa, my bad, Prez. And they agree what's called the Sussex Pledge, named after that ship that they sunk. And they promise, okay, we'll stop. I think their fingers are crossed, though. They said they'll give them warning from now on. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but they'll give warning now. So that was number one. The other reason we got involved in the war was a little bit later, the Zimmerman telegram. This is in 1917, so 2 years had gone by, or a year and a half or so. Dear Mexico, and what this was it was a letter written from the German foreign minister to the German ambassador that was located in Mexico. So it was supposed to be a letter from Germany to Mexico. It was going to go to their president, eventually the Mexican president, and saying, hey, listen, if America declares war on Germany, how about Mexico? You help fight America. You keep them busy down there along the border, and keep them out of our hair. And if you do this, we will give you the land that they took back. They took from you in 1840s for this Mexican War. Interesting deal. The British intercepted the message. They told America. About a month later, they told America. I kind of wonder if this was made up because it seems too good to be true for the British that they would intercept this. Of course, they're going to want America to get involved because we're going to be a huge ally, we find out. But I never saw anywhere that it was fake or made up. It seems to be true. So I guess we'll believe it this time. So they told us, we're like, what? How could you do that? This is awful, Germany. Our president, of course, is very upset. This guy, President Wilson, he says to Congress, listen, this is enough. Germany's getting out of control. So ask Congress to declare war. He officially ends neutrality, and we want war. So, of course, they say yes. And the arrival of the U.S. tips balance in favor of the Allies. And that's all we have. See you in class. And don't forget that you must take the quiz on Blackboard right now to prove that you were watching this and that you know what you're talking about.